Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and the second ever official PokeMMO Shiny Wars has come to an end. And not only do we have our winners, we have data, we have victors, we have people who got prizes. There's a lot to jump into, and just shout out to Park, and all of the other staff members, as well as the developers. I think the only way they could have gotten this data is from the developers, which is really cool to me. So just everyone in the PokeMMO scene actually being so involved with Shiny Wars is just an amazing thing to see. Once again, this was just a communal event invented by Team Mister many years ago, and to see it come this far is hard to fathom. I'm sure in a few years we'll process and think back on it. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. The 2025 results. This is not a thread for feedback, of course. This will be linked in the description if you want to go through it at your own pace. Let's get into the fun stuff, okay? Almost 10,000 shinies were caught during this event. That is insane. 10,000 shinies brought into the game within 1 month. Within 1 month is wild. A crazy 9,597 total shinies. This one's also crazy. 273 out of 288 possible unique species were covered. These were the only Pokemon, the only species lines. So if you caught like Bulbasaur, that counted for Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur, for example. These were the only species lines that no one got a shiny for, and this list makes total sense to me. Execute is the only funny one, because that's an uncommon single encounter, but you have to go to like Berry Forest, I believe. It's a great shiny, by the way, but a little sad to see Execute over there. The legendary bird trio makes total sense. Legendary is really hard to find. The legendary dog trio makes total sense. Heatran makes total sense. Pineco, that's a niche one. It's actually an egg hunt, or you could go like Safari Hunt Fortress, but it's pretty difficult. Quillfish is a difficult fishing shunt specifically. You'd have to go fish for like a 20% chance at Quillfish, or Shalfa Hunt Quillfish specifically, which is something I've done in the past. Lilip, expensive, the most expensive, I believe. One of the more expensive fossil shunts, so also makes sense. Carnivine, niche, difficult egg hunt. Muna is a weird one. That's a single encounter shunt. Even I think a common, if not uncommon single encounter shunt. A really cool single encounter shunt, don't get me wrong, over at a certain spot, Dream Yard-ish area in Unova, but a little shocked to see that one not on the list. Muna's a great shiny. Most caught shiny species, and look at this, again, somehow Cryogonal Cave happened a little bit again. Not as bad. The species clause saved it. Don't worry. This was not really the case. Like throughout the entire event, people hunted all types of different spots. But I think once it became winter in game, a lot of people did go over to Cryogonal Cave once again. It was still a very good spot this year. Towards the end of the event, only thankfully. Cubchoo, Cryogonal, Magikarp, Horsey, Venipede, the most caught shinies. This is interesting. This tells me both of these actually. This is really cool. The fact that Magikarp and Horsey are both on here tells me that people went for Dratini hard this event. So many people must have went for shiny Dratini over in Dragon's Den, but 329 Cubchoos, 232 Cryogonals. Honestly, look at that number. 329 Cubchoos, but almost 10,000 total shinies. That to me is a sign of an extremely healthy metagame. That is like the shunning pool this year was so diverse this year comparatively to last year during actual Cryogonal Cubchoo wars, just to clarify. Cryogonal, 232 of them. 140 Magikarps, 138 Horseys, and Venipedes, 134. That's Zoroark Hunters, I believe, as well. That's interesting. Here's some other special statistics. Tier 6 Pokemon, that's mostly your times 5 hordes only. 5,300 or so of those. Tier 5, you got 1,600. Tier 4, 1,292. Tier 3, now this is interesting. Look at this. Tier 2 only had 96 shinies, but then Tier 1 and Tier 0 had way more. Over double, actually. That's really interesting. That also, I mean, it makes sense as a strategical decision from the teams to purposefully go for these higher tier shunts, as well as I'm assuming that there was less Mons in tier 2 would also be a guess of mine. But very, very cool to see that. The tier 0 getting 226 shinies is crazy. Zero legendaries. Wow. I didn't even see that number yet. 0 legendaries over the entire shiny war is wild. 303 eggs. 303 egg shinies in 1 month. That's 10 egg shinies a day. Wow. To put it into, sorry, I know I'm not adding a whole, I'm just speechless. 10 egg shinies a day. Holy. 15 alphas. That is crazy. Look at the difference. 300 eggs, only 15 alphas. That is a really interesting difference to me because they're the same method, but obviously Pokeyen plays a difference. That is really, really interesting. only 15 Shalfas. They're just so expensive to shunt. That is really, really, really interesting. That's a Shalfa, you know, one Shalfa every other day still. Insane. But if you're one of those people, Ninetales, who got a Shalfa during this event, I mean, congratulations. You are one of only 15 players out of how many players in total? I believe there was only over like 100 or so teams, and it was 30 people per team. That should be easy math, Patrouski, but I'm terrible. Like, it was like 3,000. It was something like 3,000 players. Out of 3,000 players, only 15 Shalfas were achieved. That's beautiful. 65 Secret Shinies, also pretty low. More Egg Shinies than Secret Shinies is super interesting. 10 Safari. Less Safari Shinies than Shalfas. Shout out to those very brave Safari Hunters. And then the MVP, Essence, who managed to get 209 points. I think he ended up getting 4 or 5 Egg Shunts. Someone in the comments can correct me. He got a lot of Egg Shinies this event. Without further ado, here are your winners. I'm sure you've already seen these or heard about these now. SEAL Team 7 takes the win. This is a big deal. We'll talk about why in a quick sec. SEAL Team 7 with 3,384 points. ETG with 3,107. They were trailing. It was back and forth. SEAL Team 7, ETG Team 1. It was anybody's game for so much of the competition. And then on the final day, it seemed like ETG unfortunately gave up and just wanted to move on and rest up, which you can't blame them for, but, you know, a little rough to see. In third place, you got Team Moon. Shout out Team Moon. Haven't been shouting them out enough, giving them enough credit. 2,640 points. Third place. Congratulations, Team Moon, man. Making a name for yourself. QH Shiny Hunters with fourth place at 2,335 points. In Unprotected Sleep. The unappreciated, you know, third, fourth, and fifth. I feel like everybody's eyes, mine included, have been on first and second and that duel over who's going to be first place. But the underappreciated Shunters is everybody here, man. That's incredible. Congratulations, everybody. Really fucking impressive to be that good at shiny hunting and have that many players dedicated like that is very difficult. And this, I mean, this speaks volumes. This is how I felt the entire war. This outcome feels like the beginning of a rivalry between Sfeel and ETG. More than the beginning, I think it is stoking the flames as they switch places in this war compared to the last one. For those who don't know, ETG won the last shiny war, and Sfeel Team 6 last year was hungry. They were upset. They wanted to win so badly. There was a lot of things that didn't go their way. Same with this year, and I'm sure the same thing with ETG, but ETG did outskill them and take the win last year. And that's how it goes. They were the first Shiny War winner. And this year's Field Team 7 wanted to prove different and become the best shunters in the world, at least for this year. The amount of effort they put into this is very inspiring. Other teams were keeping up with them until the end as well. Congratulations. Yes, this is so true. Top 50 teams receive a Charcoal Dragon Horn. I'm so excited for anyone who just participated and got top 50. Like, that is a hunt in itself, going for that top 50. And I love one of my favorite, probably my favorite edition this year of Shiny War was adding a top 50 prize, not just a top 3, you know, top 3 or go home sort of situation, because it was just so brutal to put hundreds of hours into shiny hunting in a month and then walk home with the majority of people walk home with nothing. It's just too demotivating in my opinion. So I really like the idea of a small top 50 prize like they did. A limited vanity like this is perfect. And then shouting out everyone involved: Nathan, Cosmooth, Zaxi, Austin, Ball, Player X, Beal, Matsui, Sai, C, Ven, Call Me Sensei, Hyper, Soiji, Revs, and Enzo. Everybody who just helped out with this. I mean, man, it does wonders. It does so much. And these events, Shiny Wars wouldn't be possible without the staff members, the people involved at the top actually wanting to put effort into this and wanting to foster it. Once again, Shiny War was just a communal thing that Team Mystery did, and other teams ended up adapting. It was an awesome thing, and everybody loved it. I can't believe this is an official event now in PokeMMO. Like, it is just what video games are all about, what MMOs are all about. A community creating something, and the devs actually being like, that's a good idea. Let's raise them up. Let's encourage that. Beautiful to see. You guys are the real MVPs. Until next year is correct. Thank you to Park for making this post, and thank you once again to everybody involved, as well as the players and the spectators, man. Anybody who cared about Shiny Wars, who rooted for a team, who kept track of the leaderboards, even though you weren't playing. That's what I did, right? You guys, it's important to have this be a spectator sport and have people care about shiny hunting and understand it. Just empathize. If you shiny hunt casually, you can empathize what it's like to be the best shunter in the world. And you can try to understand how much it takes, and that goes a long way. And teaching and just encouraging people to shiny hunt and love this part of the game that we all love so very much. But that is it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Shout out to everybody watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitch for streams. Discord down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel, you know, YouTube membership, Switch Prime, Switch subs, you guys know the drill. Just have a great day, and maybe your shiny luck will be extra good today. Here's hoping. Peace, Reno.